All right, we're back football theory, and now Sunday is the Euro finals, but Saturday we got the Copa America finals, and we got Brazil and we got Argentina. Before we get to the finals, we also have had quarterfinals and semifinals. Guti, what have been your thoughts on the knockout stage for Copa America?
They've been very even, like I didn't see I think with the five team in a group kind of like makes you you see teams like look bad for two games or whatever it may be, or you see teams kind of look better than they should. But as it went on, like obviously we saw like Ecuador had they haven't won a game in I don't know how many games, right? They were talking about they haven't won a Copa America game in a long time. So Ecuador just didn't show up the whole tournament. I think there's time to move that around. But Colombia kind of started making a little run, and if Colombia, scores, we're talking about them being in the final. So I was really impressed with Colombia, what they did and turn around towards the end. And then Peru, Paraguay, I thought they did their thing. I didn't think they were going to beat, Brazil, obviously, but I was like, you know what? They're going to do their thing. They're going to make a little cool run. And then Chile, Chile's not Chile like we're used to, man. They're going to have to find a new group going forward. So, those are my thoughts on that. But that we already guessed the finalists, and we both hit it on point. Brazil, Argentina, and this is Messi's chance, and this is going to be Messi's. This is going to be the one. This is going to be the one they win, I think.
I think the knockout stage, the quality has been a lot better than the group stage was. We kind of hoped that would be, and it has been. I think what do you think about the Copa America after 90 minutes in the knockout stages before the finals, straight to PKs compared to
that was one of my 50-50s. You just ruined it. But yeah, I was going to say that. What did you think about that? Because I kind of like that.
Then we'll save it.
Okay, we'll save it. Then we'll save it.
I'll save it because that's a good conversation.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I think with a team like Chile, we've talked about some of these other teams in the Europe about the core group and how it goes up and how it goes down. And now they've looked at it definitely down. You've had these guys, Vidal, who's old now, Bravo, he's still in goal. Where do you have the talent to replenish that? I think, not everybody in South America has that kind of ability that Argentina and Brazil have to just replenish talent. And even them, sometimes when the talent's being replenished, the level's not always high. Sometimes their mid-high is higher than some of the other teams in South America, which is great for them. But, Peru doesn't have that. Chile doesn't have that either. Even Uruguay is still really holding on to these Luis Suarez to Cavani to Gobin. They have some other guys in there, and they have some younger talent in there as well. And I think they're kind of in that middle compared to the rest of them. But, teams like Chile, teams like, even Peru's really not doing well in qualifying so far, but they're really getting a lot out of they got a lot out of their group here in Copa America. But I'm just happy that the quality has improved as the tournament's gone on, and I'm excited for this final.
Yeah, they definitely got better these last little games. It was cool little watch a Euro game and watch a Copa America game. It was cool. And I think going back to your point, what you said really quickly about teams not being able to replenish their squads, that all has to go back to what we talked about before, is how strong their league is, right? So when you're a national team coach, right, your first thing to do is all right, what guys are playing where, and you start making your list. And obviously you pick the guy that plays at Man City, or you pick the guy that plays at Barcelona. Obviously you have to, right? There's no way you can't call that person. But then from there, you have to get that good little supporting cast. And if your league doesn't have that competitiveness, it doesn't have that grit that Argentina does, the Argentinian league or the Brazilian league, then you have really not too much. So what I'm trying to say is Chile, the Chilean coach can just go ahead and pick all these players that play around Europe, the names that we know, the Vidales and all the other players. But after that, you're not going to tell me that the Chilean league is that strong to be able to support that, or even the Peruvian league, or any of these other leagues that we talked about. So that's why Argentina and Brazil can just do that. They can just show up to any tournament and be competitive, right? Because they could go with the U20 team one day and have you a bunch of guys from Boca and River and Lanús or whatever, and they'll still give you a good game, And so I think that has to do with how strong their league is, for sure.
Yeah, and it definitely talks about too the program. What are these countries doing in the youth programs? I think Uruguay has a really good youth program that they set up, and they get these guys in, and they kind of get them to buy into the Uruguay mentality that has kind of been known because they went through a resurgence and a restructure of the national team after they failed to qualify for 2006 when they lost to Australian PKs. They kind of not start from scratch, but they really took a look at what they were doing wrong, and they restructured the youth, starting from the youth system, and kind of gave themselves, and they reintroduced the national style of play for the national identity of Uruguay. And I think you're seeing that that's been holding over now for 15 years, where they won a couple of Copa Americas. They've been in World Cup semifinal. They've been flirting, and they've been at that level with Brazil and Argentina, and they've surpassed them at times as well over the last 15 years. And it doesn't end. It's not ending with just one generation. It looks like they're able, because of these foundational changes they made, they're able to replenish a little bit better than a Chile or a
Ecuador.
Colombia or something of
Exactly.
that nature.
Yeah.
So, it really shows what happens. Even if you're not Argentina or Brazil, what can you do for your program that make it unique to get the best out of what you have? And I think Uruguay has been able to do that. And it's not a fluke for me, even though they did lose to Colombia here. I think you're seeing the talent they have, and that they're still going to be a team to worry about moving forward as World Cup qualifying goes on.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
So you have Argentina in the finals?
I'm rooting for them. I think if the fans were allowed into the game, then Brazil would have a huge advantage. But the fact that it's closed doors, there's no fans, it doesn't matter really where they're playing. Argentina's going to beat them, man. I think Messi's going to. I don't know. Everyone's talking about the passion he was showing the day of the penalties yesterday, and how he was yelling and stuff, and he's bleeding and all this stuff. I think Messi knows this is the end of the run right here, and I think he has to get it now. This is it right here.
Yeah. I'm inclined for a sympathetic standpoint, or not sympathetic, but to see Messi lift something for Argentina would be good. I just think, man, Brazil's playing so well.
Yeah.
I think they're a cut above and beyond. They might be the best team in the world right now, to be honest with you. I think they could. I think they're just as good as Italy or as England. I think they're just as good.
They're better than they're better than both those teams.
They're just, we talk. They're kind of have everything in clicking at the right time and at the right places. You know what I mean? You see what a player like Casemiro in his prime, the way he helps Brazil. You see the way Cruz struggles in Germany because he doesn't have somebody like Casemiro behind him. You see how much more effort and how much more exertion Modric has to do for Croatia without a Casemiro behind them.
Yeah.
You have Silva in the back. This team is, and the attack that's always kind of been there for Brazil. I think now, Neymar was thrusted into the position he was in at a very young age. He's maturing, and he's coming into his own at his prime right now. And it's not just him, it's these other guys as well in the Brazil attack who are kind of thrust into this position a little older at a younger age. And things that would seem as triumphs for other countries, for them, it's been failure. And I think right now it's kind of all coming together really nicely for them. And yeah, for me, they're, top. They might be the best team in the world right now.
Yeah, I guarantee nobody wants to play them right now. So yeah, no, I do think they are better. I think Argentina's going to win. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
because they're not going to back down either. I just said
yeah.
There's no fans. There's no advantage. It's just a field. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So So I got Brazil. You got Argentina. Cool. I mean, that's been our Copa America preview. I think we're both happy to see the quality go up during the knockout stage, and I think it's going to be a really nice end to it. So that's the finals for Copa America: Argentina, Brazil, and then England, Italy on Sunday, and then Mexico kicking off Gold Cup. 50-50 moving